On August 24, 2023, Japan released a large amount of treated wastewater from the defunct Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, which draws criticism from its neighboring countries. The Telegraph posted a video online showing Chinese consumers panickingly buying salt. And the same situation is also happening in South Korea, as reported by Reuters. The Philippines have also expressed their concerns.
Inevitably reach Philippine waters and affect those who rely on it for livelihood.
Tiyak po na apektado po yung ating karagatang Pasipiko, lalong-lalo na po sa panahon po ng amihan. Ang pinaka-vulnerable po na maapektuhan ay ang Philippine rice, na kung saan ay mayroon po itong 13 million na hektareng dito po ay nagtataglay ng iba't ibang klase ng yaman ng ating karagatan.
But the strongest opposition comes from China. China and Hong Kong now ban all seafood coming from Japan.
Especially China, who on Thursday issued a blanket ban on all seafood from Japan.
日方强行启动核污染水排海，公然向全世界转嫁核污染风险，这是极端自私、极不负责任的错误行为。所有的利益攸关方都有权利、有责任。
But despite experts and scientists' claims that the treated wastewater coming from nuclear plants is relatively safe, China knows something that the rest of the world doesn't. And here's the reason why. Radioactive material can be lethal, as it leads to atom disintegration. Nevertheless, daily exposure to radioactivity is common worldwide, but not all of it is harmful. From sunlight, soil, air, and food, as well as technological devices like X-rays and microwaves. Radioactivity's harm varies with exposure volume. The oceans possess existing radioactivity due to natural elements and human actions. To be fair to Japan, Japan is not the only country that releases treated radioactive wastewater into the ocean, as are other countries around the world that possess nuclear power plants. This also includes contributions from nuclear submarines and past weapons tests. Tritium remains a concern, due to its resilience in water and inability to be effectively filtered. Although most tritium passes through organisms, it can accumulate in fish muscle. The associated radiotoxicity factor is low but not negligible. Tritium is challenging to remove from Fukushima's wastewater. Despite advanced treatment that complies with safety standards for most isotopes, tritium and carbon-14 persist. The treated wastewater is diluted to a level, 1,500 becquerels per liter, well below the World Health Organization's drinking water limit. According to experts, a substantial amount of tritium ingestion would be necessary for noticeable health effects. Now everybody can agree that mutated fish species and other marine life showing physical abnormalities are directly or indirectly caused by human interventions, and radioactive waste is one of them. And this supports China's fear, for not all scientists and experts believe that the treated wastewater is safe. Rudolph Wu, an environmental science professor at the Education University of Hong Kong, informs Time that the potential for harmful effects from radiation depends on both the level and duration of exposure. He uses the example of smoking to illustrate this concept, explaining that occasional smoking doesn't immediately lead to lung cancer, although continuous exposure to low levels of harmful substances does carry risks. Bob Richmond, a research professor at the University of Hawaii at Manoa and the director of Kewalo Marine Laboratory, also supports this claim and emphasizes that using death as the only measure of harm is overly simplistic. He believes that waiting for death as an indicator of harm is insufficient, but interventions should occur before such extremes. As a scientific advisor to Pacific Island nations opposing the Fukushima discharge plan, Richmond tells Time that Japan's comprehensive monitoring strategies do not effectively mitigate the health risks posed by releasing wastewater into the ocean. He too draws a comparison to smoking excessively and relying on annual chest X-rays for reassurance. Even if a lesion on the lung is detected after a year of smoking, it's too late to simply quit. At that point, cancer has developed. Long-term exposure to radioactive substances can result in genetic mutations, which can be passed down through generations. Additionally, ionizing radiation is known to increase the risk of cancer and other health problems. Releasing radioactive waste could expose both marine life and people to elevated radiation levels, increasing the potential for negative health outcomes. China, the second largest economy in the world, with huge military spending that one day will surpass the US, has its own share of health scandals, such as the 2008 Chinese milk scandal, where traces of melamine chemicals were found in milk formulas that cause kidney damage among infants, China's fake food industry, and the recent COVID-19 pandemic that halted the world's economy. While the majority of Western countries and their teams of experts suggest that wastewater coming from these nuclear power plants is safe, China is at the forefront of giving those warnings that there are potential health hazards caused by the disposal of treated nuclear wastewater into the ocean. Could China be right this time? Or is China just politicking to downplay the issue of the South China Sea conflict and the possible Taiwan invasion? Let me know in the comments below. Lastly, our YouTube channel, Tropical Paraiso, is in tune with the world by keeping the environment clean and green. We believe in long-term tourism sustainability that will benefit future generations. That includes all the bodies of water that nurture all the life on this planet, including the marine ecosystems. We need this planet, and our planet needs us. We are all connected, and let us join hands together to make this world a better place to live in.